The disco demon, also known as the Diablo z Dyskoteki, was a Polish demonic cryptid that was the source of many urban legends in the 1980s and 1990s, specifically in the Ostrov area around Poland, but also in other regions. Like many demonic entities described around the world, this demon was a shapeshifter. However, also like these entities, its ability to shapeshift varied. The weaker of the entities could shapeshift but not at all well, and it wouldn't really fool a human observer, and the stronger ones could shapeshift really well. The disco demon seems to have been able to shapeshift well, only it was distinguished by one thing. It always smelled of sulphur, no matter what it did, and even in its human guise, it possessed hooves. So in other words, if you weren't looking at its shoes, or lack thereof, it was incredibly convincing in every way but one. In addition, one of the other ways you might be able to spot the disco demon was the car it drove. In many versions of the story, it drove a completely black, ominous BMW. Now, there's nothing inherently ominous about a BMW in and of itself. I'm not telling you to go out there and be terrified of men with BMWs and pull pepper spray on them purely because they drive them. But the way you could tell the disco demon's BMW is that, possibly in a display of duper's delight, its license plate was non-existent and the car had tiny horns instead of tiny mirrors. Furthermore, it would usually be seen in the back parking lot of a bar, usually in a shady place. And this is where the disco demon gets not so funny. This demon would walk out, ask a random person about the time, and after it would receive a response, it would kill them, or another person. Sometimes people walking home from the club would also be set upon and killed, lured into a isolated area by a sound or a sensation, then dispatched, and sometimes it would take a pretty boy home, or a pretty girl home, and this person would never be seen again. In many oral traditions of the world, the jinns, aka demons, aka shayateen, aka spirits, are seen as very helpful. In some cultures they help with farming, with construction, with medicine. In other cultures they're more ambiguous, sometimes helping you, sometimes playing practical jokes on you, and sometimes hindering you, a lot like people do. And in many cases they're portrayed as envious of humans, resentful of humans, and outright hostile and full of detestation for humans. And this is the disco demon. Arguably one of the more sociopathic demons because it kills you, harms you and torments you, and seems to get a real visceral thrill from doing so.